Good evening, everybody. This here is Stereo Police, and tonight is my reply to viewer comments. Little did you know, I've got a couple of comments that I want to reply to. There's, of course, there's way too many on here, but just a couple that came up today that I feel like responding to offhand. And I plan to do this as a regular feature in the future if I feel like it. But anyway. First and foremost, here we go. This gent, I'm assuming a gent, named Jingo Loba 57 says, "Oh boy, do you have XLR cables?" And this is in reference to this year video. But there's more to come on this, and yeah, thanks for reminding me. When I feed the Luxman from the DAC, from the TIAC, I could use XLR cables, and I had them, and I just couldn't find them. But thanks to you, I dug them out. So thank you for reminding me. I really appreciate my viewers, and I appreciate all the positive comments and the constructive comments, and this is one of them. So thank you, man. Appreciate it. On to the next one. Oh, about the video I made today over lunch about my my CD player, my CDP750, the Sony that I just received with the TDA 1541s, which is a revered classic, time-tested 16-bit multi-bit DAC. It's got two of them in there, one on each channel. DGC 1929 states that he or she, whomever, has the exact same CD player. Bought it new, don't remember the year. Hooked it up to a Pioneer SX980. What is a Pioneer SX? I know the SX series. It's a 980. Damn, that rings a bell. Well, first of all, I already love this CD player. I've got quite an extensive CD collection that's been in mothballs for decades. Just for nostalgia, I just want to hear them through a standalone CD player. And I'm very, very excited about this this Sony. And my friend, you have a damn good CD player. And sometimes it's just an accident that we buy them and hold on to them, and they become time-tested and revered. And you've got a good one. Pioneer SX980. Hold on a second. Alrighty, looked it up. Wow. Boy, did I love the receiver wars of the 70s. Holy shit, that's beautiful. I only hope that yours, I don't know if you still have it or not. Oh, that's a 780. Excuse me. Oh my God, that's the big boy. I know it's not the biggest one. Oh wow. Wow. Man, it's got the power meters, then it had the signal and the tuning, the rocker switches, the push buttons. Oh my, the crossover for the treble and the bass. Yeah, the receiver wars, man. That was the time. I was a young kid when that was going on, but boy, I just, wow. I could talk about this forever. I have to move on, but wow, what a combo. Good on you, man. Back to the Luxman via Akatika. Happy Highwayman, great username. I know the Highwayman. In country music, classic, awesome group. Love Johnny Cash, love Waylon Jennings, all of them. Willie, I don't know if that's who you're named after. I don't know if that's who you're named after, but that's what it harkens. But what a sweet setup. You know what? Just every now and then, a pleasant comment goes a long way, and I appreciate it. Thank you, man. All right, back to the Luxman L5, the Luxman versus Akatika. Samuel Salins 8309, forgive the pronunciation, says, turn the speakers upside down and listen to it and you'll hear the difference in more dynamics. I have no idea. I've never done that before. Turning them upside down. Explain more at some point when you get a chance. Explain how that works and what that does. And I'm open to anything if it works. But that's interesting. I'm not sure. I have to really think about that. You're getting the tweeters closer to the ground. I mean, how does that work with reflection? Boy, he brings all kinds of thoughts to mind, and unfortunately, most of the thoughts I have are negative right now. Not negative, but I'm thinking things that are detrimental to the sound. So do explain, and I'm willing to try it, man. But thank you. There's a love. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. Some of your comments have been positive, and I do appreciate that. All right, back to the final one for the night, because this is going to be a little more lengthy, and this is how much I appreciate you guys. And anyway, forgive me for the crutch words tonight, the ums and the ands, and oh my goodness gracious. Just don't let me say deep dive. Oh my God, that's a verbal virus that's going around. Oh, God, I cringe when I hear it. I won't give you a deep dive into anything. I hope you hit the fucking bottom of the pool. All right. There we go with the ums. Let me try this again. Cut. Sir, KCR 2365. You seem like a very nice guy, and okay, stop with the ums. You seem like a very nice fellow, and you've asked buying a new house, any advice for setting up a great stereo. I love this question. Here's why I love it. I am the absolute wrong person to ask, because I'm not an ordinary audiophile. I'm very extraordinary. And I'm not saying extraordinary in an arrogant way. I'm just weird. I'm strange. I do things differently from the average audiophile. I don't have a system. I mentioned this in the previous. I'm a nomad. I'm a hunter-gatherer. And I believe in survival of the fittest and natural selection. And it's an ongoing process that never ends, if that makes sense. Those of you who know me know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't believe in marriage, other than to my wife, who I love. What I'm talking about equipment. Now, however, I am going to answer your question. You got me thinking. And during the process of thinking about that, I'm going to answer your question with my, and I actually made a document for you. I actually, you got me thinking, so I put together my top 10 rules for purchasing stereo equipment. And these rules, I hope, will assist you and other folks. And they're not, they're rules, they're just, I don't know what you call them. They're just advice. And then ultimately, I'm going to give you some advice to the best of my ability. But remember, I'm not the best person to ask. But you ask, and I'm going to give you an answer. Because I think this answer might be helpful to other folks as well. All right. Yeah, there's the Okay, we're not going to do a deep dive at all. All right. First of all, I wanted to show you this. This is the very first receiver, and I actually, I don't know why you got me thinking about this, sir, but this is the very first piece of hi-fi equipment, and I think I discussed this in a previous video a long time ago. I forgot all this. I talk a lot, don't remember everything I talked about. The very first piece of hi-fi gear I ever owned. The Lafayette LR120DB. Now, the very first stereo rig I ever owned was a Lloyd's, LLOYDS. It was like one of those all-in-ones with the turntable on top and the receiver on the front. It was lo-fi. It wasn't even mid-fi. It was like 8 years old. When I got this, I was a preteen. And this thing was magnificent. Wow. Gorgeous. And I got it when Lafayette was going out of business, and they were having a fire sale, and I got it brand new. And wow, look! And this thing right here in this YouTube video is gorgeous. Kudos to this fellow for putting this video up. I'm just sitting here watching this video. I remember every one of these buttons and knobs. LR 120 dB. I remember LR stands for Lafayette Radio. 120 stands for 120 watts per channel, and dB stands for Dolby. It had Dolby FM. Dolby noise reduction on the FM. Never seen that before, and nor since. Anyway, now I'm going to answer your question with some rules that I made up, and I actually wrote this down in the document so that I could subsequently modify them as necessary. But let's see if I can go to this document for you. Hold on. All right. I made this tonight after you commented, and here we go. You're looking for a stereo system, and these are my rules. Number 1, newer equipment is not necessarily better. In fact, some of it is horrible. So don't always think newer is better. It's not always better. You can get some fantastic values and deals on great sounding gear that's old, vintage, antique, and everything in between. Number 2, if you're going to watch reviewers or read reviewers online, I would never trust a reviewer who praises virtually everything and rarely, if ever, has a disparaging comment, for these folks are nothing more than salesmen. The brick and mortar stores have been replaced by online sales, and they're very crafty how they do things. The salesman is now disguised as a reviewer, and some of these salesmen are ad hoc salesmen. They have their own channels, and they try to build up viewership, and then they go to these companies, and they're getting paid, and they love everything. And that's rule 2A. And 2B is kind of the same thing. Never trust a reviewer who hyperlinks a reviewed product to the manufacturer. Why would you do that? Do you work for them? Think about it. Do they have an interest in the product? Think about it. If you like the product, go find the damn thing yourself. You don't need a hyperlink from me. Number 3, you can't just buy your way into audio nirvana. It takes time. And I say audio nirvana, I'm assuming you're looking for a system that's, you're not just looking for a crap system where you walk into the big box store and you say, give me something and I can hook up in 10 minutes and listen to. I'm assuming you're asking this question for me because you really want audio nirvana. You just can't go out and buy your way into it. It takes time, experimentation, passion, and trial and error. Relax. All right? Number 4A, loudspeakers are the highest distorting component, and they have the most individual character. They'll have the most impact on the final sound you get. Okay, so budget the most of your money and the most of your shopping time for and on your speakers. 4B, don't forget the room. Choose your listening. This is where I'm guilty. I move around, my rooms are crap. Okay, I'm a hypocrite about this, but I'm giving you good advice here. Don't forget the room. Choose your listening room carefully and how it's treated, the treatments. I agree. I own the criticism. I own it that I've gotten about my rooms. I own that criticism, okay? Number 5 out of 10, don't elevate one technology over another. This is something I've evolved to agree with, okay? Don't think that BJTs are better than MOSFETs. Don't think that tubes are better than transistors. Don't think that this is better than that just because some talking head tells you. Just decide for yourself. You have an ear-brain combination, and it's going to prefer something. So listen. Now, I have a corollary to this rule or law, and you've recently discovered that. Class D amplifiers are dirty, disgusting beasts that should be avoided at all costs, unless absolutely necessary for power savings or because you don't want to dissipate a lot of heat. Please avoid Class D. D stands for disgusting and dirty. All right? Now, number 6. Go to audio stores if possible, if there's any around you, or go to a friend's house if you have friends who have good gear, and listen for yourself. Never feel pressure to purchase. Put a lot of time in. Just listen. Because you'll get familiar with your own personal preferences and tastes. It takes time. This is not a Mick hobby. It's not. You need to put the time in, and you'll get so much enjoyment and pleasure out of it. Okay, along the same lines, take advantages of companies, companies that you purchase from who have liberal trial and return policies. Companies that allow you to listen and return. They're always going to have a restocking fee, whether it's 10% or what have you. That's okay. Consider it a rental. It's cool to rent stuff. Consider it a rental. That's okay. But take advantage of that. We're in a world where brick and mortar is leaving us, and we're in an internet world where we have to purchase things online. So that's why they have these policies. Don't feel bad about returning things if you don't like them. Suck it up, pay the money. You rented it. The rental wasn't enjoyable, so you paid for it. You rent a car every now and then, right? So rent some gear. All right. Beware of newer manufacturers and startups, okay? And I mean that sincerely. Stick with the tried and true companies with a legacy of excellence, who have unwavering core principles, and relatively limited product lines. Beware of companies that are jacks of all trades. They do it all. And with these principles in mind, I'm going to recommend one company. I can think of many companies that I could recommend to you, but I'm going to recommend one company in particular and I'll tell you why, because I want to be careful about who I recommend. I'm losing faith in Klipsch. Okay, for speakers. But I'll tell you who I recommend when I'm finished here. Okay, number 9 out of 10. There's nothing wrong with factoring into your buying process the look and feel of equipment, the nostalgia of equipment, the emotional factor into your purchase. All of this adds to the flavor and enjoyment of your component, how things look, how they feel, perhaps the antiqueness, the oldness, how it looks. Does it have VU meters? Does it have, it's okay to enjoy, and also it's okay to enjoy mid-fi. I do all the time. It's okay. If something mid-fi floats your boat, then go with it, man. It's just as enjoyable. Trust me. And number 10, there's no component and no system. Nothing will ever be perfect. You can come close to nirvana. You'll go in it. It's like Maslow's hierarchy and self-actualization. Yeah, you might, if you're lucky, achieve it for just a short period of time. You'll pop in and out of it, but nothing is perfect. So relax, and enjoy the process. Be ready to switch, trade, sell, upgrade, or hoard like I do. Just enjoy. That's what it's all about. All right. So that's the best I can tell you, my friend. And that's why I'm reluctant to recommend any component or any system, because I'm a nomad. However, let's just say, like, we were close friends and you were saying, look, man, I just want a system now. I don't have time. Just tell me where to go. Well, I'm not going to tell you what speakers to go with. Well, I will. I'll tell you to find some used Cornwall 3s. That's safe. That's easy. But they're huge. They're colossal. You know, they're not wife friendly, so to speak. But you'll never go wrong with Klipsch Cornwall 3s. Okay? If I had to recommend those. Now, if you said, look, I want a whole system, where do I go? Here's what I'm going to recommend. So right now, I'm going to recommend you go to Shit. I'm going to recommend you go to Shit Audio. You want a whole system? They got it all. They have some unwavering core principles that I really appreciate. I'm not even going to get into what I mean, the Made in America thing, trying to source things in America, but that's not even it. I mean, they believe in R2R or DACs. They believe in multi-bit. They integrate tubes in there. They have a Class A amplifier, and their prices are unbelievably reasonable. I've owned a couple of Shit products. I plan on buying a Shit amplifier in the near future. You can get an entire system. The value is through the roof. Now, I'd like you to try out things and try other components and mix and match, but if you had to get something now, I'd recommend Shit. Okay? If we were best friends and you said, just tell me where to go and get something now, it would be a Shit system coupled to Cornwall 3s. Not the 4s. Don't buy the... I've heard the 4s. I do not. There's something wrong. Get the 3s. Get them used. All right? There you go, folks. Hey, listen. I've given you... I've got to run. But, hey, this has been fun. Hope to do this in the future. Nothing but positive. I love my subscribers. I do this for you. And ciao. See you all real soon. I'll get back to the Akatika. Oh, and I'm going to bring in the Rogue Audio Tube amp. You've got to hear the Kronos 3 in this mix. You've got to. Ciao. Love y'all. I love y'all sincerely. Over and out.